All right, hey, it's Friday night, and that means it's Friday Update. It's week number 18. This week is going to be brought to you. It's Friday, why not? Sneaky Weasel Beer, brought to you by. Thank you very much to the folks at Sneaky Weasel. That sound means we're on the air. But hey, we've got number 18 this year. That's going to be Tanner Ward. And guess who we've got here with us? We've got Tanner Ward. Tanner, thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Hey, first off, where the heck have we got you? I'm guessing a bedroom, or where are you there?
No, I'm in a bedroom right now. I'm just at home.
You're at home, and what is home these days?
Uh, in Simcoe, Ontario, actually staying at my girlfriend's place.
Okay, that just opened up a whole new avenue of questions.
Oh, oh no.
What's your lovely girlfriend's name again?
Montana.
Montana. How did I forget Montana?
Yeah, for real. It's a state.
Okay. Well, hey, man, it's Friday Update number 18. That's you, man. You're on a new team this season. We got all kinds of cool stuff to talk about. But let's because hey, man, why not? We got lots of film. We're not really on a time schedule here, so let's take it way back. And hey, first of all, how old are you now, Tanner?
I'm 20 now. Getting old, unfortunately.
Doesn't that seem weird saying that?
Yeah, it does. It feels like I was just 12 yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. See, it feels like you were 12, so that makes me ancient. But okay, man. So let's take it way back. And your dad's name is Jeff Ward, so I kind of have to know how you got into the sport. But how did you get into the sport of moto?
Actually, funny enough, my dad actually never raced, but he raced go-karts, and my two oldest brothers also raced go-karts, and they wanted to get into moto. And then by the time I came along, they're already pretty much hardcore into moto. Well, not hardcore like I am now, but they were already racing and everything, and I was pretty much born into it. Actually, I was almost born at Walton. I was a couple days after Walton I was born, so my mom was pregnant there and everything. So yeah, and so obviously my brothers raced, and then I got a P-dub when I was like 2.5. I was already on a 2-wheel bike and everything, so my dad put me on a PW, and the rest is history.
Is that the kind of thing your parents have a kid? They're like, okay, this guy's going to be the next champ. Well, okay, maybe not this guy. Okay, this one's going to be the next champ. Tanner, come on, Tanner. This kid's going to be the next champ.
I don't know. All my brothers were actually pretty decent at riding and everything, and but I guess I just had a little bit extra. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I guess the formula kept changing too, and the steps your dad knew how to take and your family knew how to take and stuff. It just kind of starts making more and more sense as you go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, now my other favorite question is how the heck did you pick your first race number? What was it, and how did you pick it?
My first race number was actually number 4, and it's because of Ricky Carmichael, which is a cool story. I got to go to his place last year as well. So I really looked up to Ricky as a kid, and
hey, where'd you go? You're back.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm back, and really looked up to Ricky as a kid, and and then unfortunately I had to go to 41 not long after that because of CMRC rules, so I didn't get to keep the 4 for very long. But that's how I got it, and yeah.
Well, now I know there's a little bit more to the story, because also you had to go to
414. That's because, funny story, CMRC didn't let me keep 41 because there was a number 41 in the 7 to 8 class, and I was 4 to 6, so I had to go to 414. And I like the number 4. I feel like I've changed my number quite a bit through the years, but besides 1 year, I've had the number 4 in all my numbers. So and obviously this year's different. I can't choose it, but so I obviously like the number 4.
You do like the 4, and if you double it and put it in front, you get this.
Yeah, 84. I like it. That's like my number on everything. Like all my video games, everything's 84. So if I get a career number eventually, I don't know if it's gonna be 4 or 84, but I'll worry about that when the time comes.
Okay, nice. Now, I mean, you just answered that, but so Ricky was your hero coming up and everything? Any other riders? Like obviously there's Ricky kind of overlapped a whole bunch of guys. Ricky was always your guy?
Yeah, pretty much until he retired. And at the time I was still really young. I think, what did he retire 06, 07? And so I was only like 6 or 7. And I'm like, why is he retiring? Like, why does he stop racing dirt bikes? Like, what? But and then I don't know, I kind of went through my stages. I think after Ricky, I don't really know who my favorite rider was at the point. Maybe Villapoto, or because Villapoto was still on 250s, and I don't honestly, I don't even know at that point. But yeah, I know Ricky was pretty much my main guy when I was younger, and that's who I wanted to be.
Does it seem funny that maybe it's just me? Uh, Villapoto won 4 Supercross championships in a row, and I don't know if his name's getting thrown around as much as it should be these days. I don't know. I feel like we're rough on history.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like he kind of vanished from the sport for a bit, and like, I mean, you're only as good as your last race, and people kind of in this sport, they seem to fade away pretty quick because there's always someone new and everything. So yeah, maybe that's the reason. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's fun. No, you kind of came, obviously show that picture there with young Crier there, you guys. That was actually from 2007 at Grand Bend. That one picture there. But who were your rivals? I mean, when you got a little bit older, obviously it was the Fab Three, as Jeff McConkey
Yeah.
would say, right? You, Marco, and Mr. Watling. But yeah, growing up, who was your big rivals?
Yeah, honestly, in the 50 class, I started actually as Nathan Crier. Both Nathan Crier and I battled like on 50s, and it kind of changed over the years, obviously. At one point, I think it was me, Nathan Crier, and then also Christopher Da Silva. Um, yeah, and then by the time I was on 85s is when kind of me and Marco started battling quite a bit, and then obviously till the day it's still Marco and I battling. But yeah, that's pretty much my rivals, if you want to say
Right.
it. But yeah.
Now, are you Marco as close buddies as we like to think you are? Like, are you guys good buddies?
Yeah, I consider us good buddies, and we don't like talk on a daily basis or anything, but yeah, definitely aren't not friends.
How about with Austin Watling, the other Fab Three member?
Yeah, him and I are still good buddies. We pretty much we game all the time and everything, and we keep in touch with each other quite a bit. Obviously, not as much since he's not riding stuff anymore, and since riding such like takes up most of my time, I don't really have too much time to hang out with people. But yeah, him and I are still really close.
Okay, now I mean, obviously I got to know you and your dad and stuff like that, traveling around the big U.S. amateur nationals and things. What, I mean, was that something that your older brothers did as well, or did that kind of come in more as you got into your own there?
It kind of came in as when I was kind of riding by myself. Because at one point there was actually 5 of us riding, because also my stepbrother. So there was 5 of us going to the races. So that wasn't cheap, and I don't think we could have really afforded to go to like a mini O's or something with 5 of us racing, because yeah, it's pretty expensive. So by the time I was kind of just racing on my own, all my brothers were kind of done and everything. So it's by time, or was the time we started going to like Loretta's, mini O's, but I was still only like, I was only 8 or 9 at the time anyway. So I was still young. It wasn't like it was late in my career that we started going to those races.
Right, right. I always tell the joke, like anybody who'll listen, like I always say. But I remember one of the times I first met you, I went all the way to Florida, and for some reason I forgot to bring any shorts. And your dad had some lent it to me, so I'm running around, hey, because the name Jeff Ward, obviously, I'm an old guy. He was one of my heroes growing up, so I'm like, hey, I'm wearing Jeff Ward shorts. But anyway, that was kind of a joke back in the day. And you remember, I'm gonna have to dig out this interview. Remember us when it was getting late and I grabbed you and we did that
Yeah,
interview in the headlights?
around the headlights. Yeah. Oh, some good old days.
And it's funny. I always say this. It's like, I mean, in my job, it's great. I get to know all, you guys and your families and stuff like that. And it's just kind of cool that I like to across this whole country and stuff. I could knock on the Ward house and come in for dinner. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a
For
cool,
sure.
kind of one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. But
Yeah, that's the moto community for you.
yeah, yeah. I just think it's so funny. It's almost dark and the bugs are coming out. Come on, quick. We got to do an interview.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're getting loaded up to head home.
Everyone's just sitting in the car trying to leave truck. I was okay. So what was your best big amateur race?
um, I I don't even know. Like my most accomplished one, I'd say, is probably Monster Cup. That was pretty cool. We road trip down there together and everything, and yeah, I'd say it's like my most accomplished one. Obviously, I didn't do good there and had like problems, and I wish I got to go again, but I don't know. I always did good at Walton. It was there's something about like every time I go down in the States, I just couldn't put it together. I don't know what it was, but I always enjoyed racing Walton. Um, Never did good at Loretta's really, so I don't know. I don't really have one like that really sticks out to me, but yeah, I'd
Okay.
say definitely probably Monster Cup.
What was your favorite track down south?
Um, I really loved Monster Mountain to just kind of go and ride and have fun. I haven't been there actually in a while, but yeah, I'd say probably Monster Mountain for most of my amateur days. Always, every time we head down south, I always made sure we stopped there. But racing wise, uh, probably Mini O's outdoor track. I like that a lot.
Okay. Now
Yeah,
what? Oh, sorry.
no, I was done.
Oh, all right. Now let's talk about talking about the Walton Transcan. Who was your what was your big your well, two classes, super mini and then intermediate? What were your big battles there?
Super Mini for most. I actually posted something about this the other day. That was actually 85 class, I guess. But Casey Keats and I battled for quite a few years there. And then my last year I won it. I actually battled a little bit with Jake Trico. Yeah, but I say Casey and I had kind of quite a we're battling quite a bit in Super Mini because by then Marco was already on big bikes since he was quite a bit bigger than us. So and then once we got to intermediate, it was that my last year intermediate. Last year I could race Walton actually because it was 2016 because 17 we didn't have it, but that year was actually pretty fun because Chris Fortier came up and raced it, and it was actually me, Chris, Austin, Marco. And Casey. There's 5 of us. That was pretty cool, and no one really knew who was going to win it. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. Who took it that year?
I believe Marco did.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a good year for me that year, 2016, especially in the last couple of motos. Didn't have it was more on the ground than it was not.
But I know there's a good thing about that year. I think that's the one I got a picture of your dad standing up on the fence and just yelling at you, cheering. That might have been that year.
Might have been, yeah.
You know that picture I'm talking about?
I think so. I kind of can, but I kind of can't. I don't know.
He's standing on the short fence, and he's just like, it's a great shot.
I've seen it a million times, so just at different tracks.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Always yelling, eh?
Okay, so what was your first pro race? What year was that, and how'd it go?
2017 at Gopher. It was all right. How did I do? I think I didn't get the best overall because I actually DNF'd my first moto, and then the second moto I got 8th. But the first moto was pretty sweet. I got a good start, and my natural instinct was just to give it my all. And I'd never done a pro race, a long moto like that. And I practiced a bunch of 30s before that, but never raced a 30. And you realize how much different it is once you go racing. And I think it was a lap and a half to go. I crashed in the pro section. I was running 5th or something like that, and DNF'd it because it was a pretty hard crash. And the second moto was just totally had energy, and I think I got 8th, but it was pretty good. I just wanted to get a top 15. That's all my goals were. And but yeah, it was not too bad, I guess.
Right, now what bike were you on there?
I was on a KTM then, right. 250.
Okay, well, let's talk about the KTM years. Obviously, a couple of years there with KTM. We'll talk about obviously things have changed for this hopeful season. But the KTM years, your teammates and stuff like that. How was that and everything? You had a couple fast dudes.
Yeah, it was cool. I was on the pro team there for 2 years. I was actually with KTM for 5, but my last 2 was as a pro. First year it was Kevin Benoit, Cole Thompson, and I, and that was pretty cool. They're quite a bit older than me, and they were both in the 450 class, so it was kind of cool to see that little rivalry between them, and me just kind of be able to do my own thing. And I actually spent quite a bit of time with Kevin. I stayed with him at Club MX, and then I stayed at his house that summer, and it was really cool. He helped me out a lot. He was very kind of positive with me, and he was teaching me a lot that year, and it was really cool. And then I guess, leads up to last year, which was Jess, Cole, and I. And last year, it was fun with Jess and I. We kind of got together. I guess we got together down south and at his sister's place in Tallahassee. And then, we trained together. And then in the summer, we got back together. We rented a place in Quebec. So that was pretty cool, just being able to hang out and then push each other when we was doing motos and stuff. And it's a little bit frustrating because during the week, I'm feeling good, riding, I was pretty close to him or just as fast as him. And then we go to the weekend and it wasn't there. So that was kind of frustrating, but no, it was good. It's definitely helped me, and I learned a lot off him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. well, just did spoke with Jess a couple weeks ago and everything. And we're talking about that and about how down in Tallahassee and you got to ride at Carmichael's and stuff with him last year. And I asked him kind of the same thing if he was still with you. Like in my mind, you're still I haven't seen you race yet on your new bike, so I gotta
Yeah.
smarten up. But talk about that. That's I got one of my favorite photos of all time as both Ricky's mom and dad both doing their own thing. Ricky's bike in the middle, and she hates her photo being taken. She's not she's not even looking at
Yeah.
the camera. And I want to post it because I love it. I got to ask her permission. I'm sure she's watching this. But if you're watching, but anyway, tell us about that experience. What was that like?
Yeah, that was unreal. So yeah, I got to go there for the first time last year because of JSR. JSR knew her, and from his days of training with Ricky, and so yeah, that's how we kind of got me in there. And then it was really fun. We were only going 2 days a week for about, I think it was about like 6 weeks I was there. So got to go there a couple times a week and join in with their group, and they were so welcoming, and yeah, it was fun. It was like a dream come true. You get to go to the farm and you see Ricky there, and so yeah, and then so I pulled some strings this year for the boys at the Honda, and we got to go there. So I was pretty stoked with that, and we were there pretty much the whole winter. It wasn't really the original plan, but yeah, it was working out well. So it was cool.
It's funny. Like Ricky's mom, she's so soft spoken, but then she knows what she's doing. It's like if she says something, you're like, "Yes, Mrs. Carmichael, of course."
Yeah, she's a sweetheart, but then don't do anything wrong. I don't want to get on her bad side because I feel like she could be mean. So, but no, she's super nice, and yeah, she loved having us, and I'm assuming we'll be going back there next year. I hope so.
Oh, that's cool. When I was there, all the guys were on the Supercross track. Nobody was going to be even on the motocross track, and Big Rick was out there on the tractor, just grooming and grooming the motocross track. Nobody was riding it. Nobody just loves it. The guy just loves it.
Yeah, no, they both just love it. I mean, I imagine they both could be retired at this point and just kind of living their own lives, but they're there every morning, and Big Rick's there at like 7, 8 a.m. making sure the track's ready to go, which is really cool because I mean, it's something that it's not like they have to be doing this, for the paycheck, and they just do it. They do it because they love it, and you kind of you appreciate that when you see little things like that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, now, okay, so obviously now you're at the GDR Honda Fox Racing team. Like, how did this come up? And was this, when your contract was up at KTM was coming up, or re-signing, or did they come a courting? How did it all go?
Yeah, well, I guess it kind of started back in the middle of last summer when I was getting ready for the races there, or the race there. I was obviously riding there quite a bit, and conversation just kind of striked up with Derek, and one thing led to another, and next thing you know, I was signing a contract in right for Montreal Supercross there. So yeah, it was really cool. It's being that close to home is a big thing for me, and having to travel 8 hours to go see the team, and just having that, I think like every day the team's right there. If I need to make little adjustments here and there, and then when the team just won both championships, it's kind of hard to say no to when they're offering you something and they want you part of their program. Obviously, they see something in me, and then yeah, they're obviously doing something right, so I want to be a part of that. And I think I can do it with them, but for sure, the passion behind them is like no other. You just kind of see it in the pits and what they're able to do. So it's I'm excited to be part of their program for sure.
Nice. Now the KTM's are kind of known for grabbing great starts and everything. You got the Honda dialed?
Oh yeah, we got it good. We're gonna do some testing here soon, and hopefully when we go racing, we'll be getting good starts.
Okay, now let's talk about now. This has to kind of seem weird to you. Now you're in a kind of a mentor position. Now all of a sudden there's young Ryder McNabb coming up. What's that like? That whole new role for you?
Yeah, it is definitely a different role, and I kind of do feel like more of a, I guess, veteran, you want to say, but not only because the 450 rider, like I've had Kevin or I've had Cole, and they're quite a bit older than me and more experienced and whatnot. But now I have Dylan's the 450 rider, and like I was just racing Dylan, so I don't like I look up to him for sure, but I don't see him like, oh, he's Dylan, right? Like last year I was wanting to beat him, right? So yeah, and then having riders, it's pretty cool. It's like see myself, I guess, like 6 years ago, and just kind of seeing what he's going to be good in the future. But it's pretty cool being able to have him because he's fast. There ain't no doubt about it. And he keeps me on my toes while he rides. So yeah, he's pretty cool.
Okay, and here's about as loaded a question as I can think of here. So the past few years, you had JSR as your guy. This year, you've got Colton Fasciotti as kind of the mentor dude at the thing. Who's the guy? Who do you? I mean, 6-time versus 5-time.
No, you can't really compare. I mean, they both had they're both really, really good riders and awesome guys for sure. And me and Colton, it's kind of cool because me and Colton already kind of had a little relationship before joining the team, so that's only going to help me for sure. So I don't know. I can't really compare them. They're both awesome guys, and they both mean well. And yeah, I think I can't really compare them for sure. I don't know.
Now you and Colton, are you guys close? Obviously, you live basically right just north of Gopher Dunes, basically straight up 59 there, or whatever. Is it because of that, or is it because of video gaming? You know Colton so well.
Video gaming. Yeah, no. Last year we rode quite a bit. The last couple of years together too during the summer, while like Dylan was in Quebec or whatever, and Colton was riding by himself. So yeah, we got in touch, whatever, and started riding together here and there, and then obviously, yeah, the video gaming too.
Okay, one more question.
And just speaking of that, he's probably calling me to go play hockey. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, one more question about your mentors, and then we'll move on. But what was one thing, like if you can think of something that JSR was always stressing, like keep your head up. Some guys always say last thing they say is keep your head up or look up. Between him and what Colton, anything you can say that they've really kind of stressed?
Nothing like that. I'd say like they both like point out the same or whatever. I know JSR was always very like the team doesn't have any pressure. Like just come on, just do your thing, and like we're not expecting you to go do anything magical or whatever. Like just kind of try to like take the pressure off on race day, like not making it seem like that like we had to go win and everything. And right now it's obviously I'm still new with Colton for like as a mentor and everything, and he helps me on the bike. Like anything he sees that I'm kind of doing wrong or whatever, he helps me. And then but we haven't really got to race day yet, and I'm interested to see how that goes. I think it'll be good, obviously, but maybe we'll talk at the end of the summer, and maybe I can answer that question a little bit better. But
is Colton a lot chattier once you're under the tent with him and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like race day. I never really talked to like Colton on race day too much, just because we're obviously different tents, different races, so we didn't really cross paths too much. But every time I see Colton, he's always been pretty chatty and pretty outgoing. So but I feel like it's a little bit different on race day, but it might be different now that he doesn't have to race.
Yeah, we might see a new Colton there for sure this year.
For sure, I think we will.
All right, man. Well, let's talk about. You mentioned kind of down south. Where have you been through the winter? I mean, now obviously you're back home in Simcoe there, but where were you the past couple months?
So we started off actually at Luke Renson's place for a couple of weeks, and then we moved over to Carmichael's, like I think the middle of start of February, and then we were there until we came home, which was middle of March, because we were supposed to stay till like the middle of April, but obviously got cut short due to this whole coronavirus thing. So came home just to play it safe. But so we were actually going to end up going to GPF for the last couple of weeks for our trip, but obviously that didn't happen. Yeah, so we pretty much were just at Carmichael's.
Okay. Now what? Now it's May 1st today. So what's? We should be getting ready to go racing. Obviously, we're not. What's the plan? What do you do these days?
Just kind of, we've definitely laid off of our full-time training programs because, well, up till, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, we really didn't know what was going on. And we're still for sure not certain what's going on, but just kind of, we're still training, still riding and everything, but just kind of maintaining and kind of waiting to see what's going on and before we crack the hammer. But yeah, still able to ride, which is awesome because Gophers is just down the road, and then we have a gym there and everything. So we're pretty set up and able to do our thing without interfering with anybody or coming in contact with anybody, which is awesome.
Okay, now someone had it here in my notes to ask about if you know if it's a 12 or a 13 millimeter for the drain plug bolt, but I'm not going to ask. I won't ask you that.
So, on the 250, a Honda 250.
Yeah, never mind. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm confused.
We're not going there. Remember, my first video I have of you on the new bike. Anyway,
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
don't make me describe what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, okay. So the fact. Okay. So are you a lot of guys I talk to because of the coronavirus and the parts problems and all that stuff are told, not even told, but they kind of like, okay, you know what, we're going to ride maybe twice a week. We're going to ride have you toned it down? Are you able to?
Yeah, yeah. When we were down south, we were riding 4 to 5 days a week, and we were pretty hard at it. But we're riding about like 3 days a week, and then we'll have like a fun day. We'll go trail riding. You guys probably saw Dylan's video there not too long ago. We go trail riding, or we actually did a pretty fun moto one day. We did like 5 laps on the track, and then we went into the trails, and then 5 laps on the track, went into the trails. We did it for like an hour. It was fun. And yeah, just trying to keep it fun because I mean we've been on the bike now since middle of January, and who knows how long we'll be racing? Maybe till the end of it says till the end of October right now. So I mean that's quite a few months of riding and training, and try not to get burnt out. So try to keep it fun now before we have to get too serious and get into racing mode again soon. So just kind of taking advantage of the little bit of downtime, and because soon enough we'll be full wide open again, and yeah, racing, and we'll be tired. So
yeah, that's right. It's funny, people don't know. I mean, some people, I plan on doing some product testing and stuff at Gopher Dunes, and I may stay away from some of the. I might get there early in the morning and then move to the trails. But if people don't know, that trail circuit that's a lot of fun in there.
yeah, they are, and actually, I don't even think we don't take advantage of them enough because the day that we did that moto, like they were still kind of fresh because I think they made some changes, whatever, in there. And when I was riding, I'm like, man, these are fun. Like I can do a full moto, like in these. Obviously, it wasn't rough and it wasn't too gnarly, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Okay. Now we briefly talked about some of the mentors and stuff like that coming up, and now you're mentoring in that role with Ryder. What about obviously 6-time guy retires? Dylan Wright moving up to the 450. Is he got what it takes to be the next Colton? I keep calling him that, but you know what I mean.
Dylan's fast. I mean, it's pretty mind-boggling watching him sometimes. How fast he can go around the track, and then me trying to go out there and somewhat keep up to him. But no, he's ripping, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. He's definitely got what it takes to win, I think.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, hopefully we get to see that sometime soon, of course. Now we talked also I'll keep bugging you here for a few more questions here, but we talked
good.
about, KTM guys are like, hey, you know what, no pressure. I remember that actually. You're always talking about that. They're saying no pressure, just go, which must have been weird because your dad gave you some pressure, but,
Yeah.
but now what's the Derek Schuster formula? Is he got a whip out or is he telling you to cool it?
No, we kind of got our plan. He's like I said before, he's super passionate, so he's always like thinking of something, not something, but always thinking of what we can do better and what we can do. And obviously, this is new to all of us, so it's not like this is something that we've all experienced. But he kind of, right? He's always got a plan or got something for us to do, which is good. So it's not like we're just sitting there twiddling our thumbs. He's very I don't even know the word. Strategized, I guess. He's really good that way. So not too sure. Obviously, like I said, same way as Colton, we haven't raced with them yet, so it's gonna be new to me and obviously to them with me once we go racing, and just kind of working out the kinks and everything and seeing what he expects. Like he might be the same way, have no pressure, but I guess time will tell once we go racing.
All right. Hey, now what about Matt Bannon? What does Matt Bannon do? Does he just drive up in a short bus and hang out? What's his role?
No, he rolls up in his Raptor actually, but no, I haven't seen him too much, obviously because people are social distancing and everything, and but no, he's awesome dude, and I haven't got to know him too well yet, just obviously over the last couple of months, but he just kind of brings everything back to life when we kind of obviously us riders get worked up or whatever. He's really good at keeping us calm, and from what I heard, he's really good at that way too. Obviously, I haven't experienced it, like I said before. Haven't experienced with him too much, but yeah, he's a really cool dude.
Me, Derek, and Matt drove down to Indiana to pick up a couple converted buses, short buses. We stopped in Michigan and went to a London Knights game, Then we went there, and I took a short bus to Edmonton on New Year's Eve. I got to get a life. Anyway, okay, so now you've, I mean, growing up, you did like arena cross. You've done lots of arena cross and stuff like that. Now, Supercross down south, is that a goal someday or what?
Yeah, for sure. I I go to Daytona every year, and every year I say I'm going to race this next year. I'm going to race. Well, not every year, obviously, but the last couple of years I've said I'm going to race this next year. I'm going to race this next year, and obviously the cards haven't really played out yet, but it's something I want to do for sure. Especially before I get off 250s, I think I want to do it. But it's hard for us, especially us East Coast, because by the time the East Coast Supercross rolls around, we're already into our kind of outdoor training or our Canadian training, let's say. And it's kind of a risk versus reward. I mean, we can go down there and go race Supercross, but I mean, I get paid to come race here, here in Canada. And if I got hurt going down there, it wouldn't be too good. It wouldn't look too good on me. So, but yeah, it's something I want to do, but I just have kind of the cards have to play out, and yeah, but I'll definitely want to do it before my career's over for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird sport. I mean, you could get hurt practicing and stuff like that. And then you're hanging out with Jess Pettis, who obviously really wants to do Supercross. So I mean, that must have rubbed off too, right?
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, he definitely talks highly about Supercross, and he did well. And so it's motivating to want to go down there and do it. And but I'll definitely do it at some point.
Okay, how about Motocross of Nations? That's something you would love to one day too?
For sure. That's definitely something I really want to do. It'd be really cool to go represent the country and just race against those European guys and all the top guys, obviously, in the world. And it'd be cool to go over to Europe and go race my dirt bike. That wouldn't be something I'd be shy of for sure.
All right. Well, I can't really think of any more motocross questions at the moment. Maybe I can cut you some slack here. How about we hit you up with what I just finished? Well, I'm a huge Community fan on Netflix. I mean, I've watched like Community's just, I think it's great. Anyway, if anybody hasn't watched Community, start at episode 1 and go through it. It's just the most unhinged, weird, crazy. Have you watched Community?
Mm-mm. Oh. I've never been really a Netflix guy. Sorry. Okay, so for the last couple of years, or until the last couple of years. Okay. So everything's still new to me.
Wow, man. See, and you're young. You could probably start at Seinfeld at season 1, episode 1, and see them all for the first time. But,
sure could.
Tell me to go binge something. What can I go watch? What can we go watch?
I don't know. Right now, I'm watching Suits. My girlfriend's in school to be a paralegal and a lawyer, so Suits. She's into that, and it's a pretty good show actually. But before that, we just got done The Office. It's pretty mainstream, but it's pretty funny.
Have you ever watched the actual original, the British Office?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
No, just saying. Ricky Gervais is pretty damn funny.
Maybe we'll have to look into that.
All right, now, what's the video game of choice these days? Still hockey, or what are you playing?
Play a little bit of hockey and actually got into Supercross. It's actually funny since we've been home a lot lately. Everyone's been home mostly, so just been there's been like you can make a lobby or whatever with all your buddies, and you can allow 12 people. And one night we actually had to make like 2 lobbies. There's so many of us playing, so it's pretty fun. But I get pretty worked up sometimes. You know, I want to win.
Now, can I still get that on my ColecoVision?
I don't even know what that is.
That way predates you. Sorry, that's the Sneaky Weasel talking. Okay, buddy. Well, yeah, I appreciate your time. It's kind of fun. I mean, the website is still down, for goodness sakes. We tried to make things smaller, and it actually quadrupled and crashed the entire server. So it's a nightmare it's not me doing it that's fixing it. It's the guys that have to fix it. So these are fun to do. Even when the site's going again, we're going to do more of these. So I appreciate you taking the time here with us, man. These are fun to do. It gives people a chance to kind of get to know the personalities. And I got to get some non-red lighting. Why do I look so red?
The sun a little bit. The sun's finally out here in Ontario. You can get out. It's been a while.
But no, I really appreciate it, Tanner. And who would you like to thank, man? And we'll let you get on with your Friday night.
This is actually the first time I have to do this, I think, with the whole new team. But so I'll try my best. But yeah, the whole GDR team, Fox, Honda, Rim Bikes, Pro Circuit, Dunlop. I know there's major ones in there that I'm going to forget. And I got to learn for sure. But Bristol Coach Works, Um, yeah, just the whole GDR Honda team. My trainer Brad, my Migration Unlimited. Yeah, everyone Atlas, Oakley. I think that's it. That's all I can know for sure right now. But just everyone who supports the team and supports me. Napa Whitecourt, they're a personal sponsor this year. I'm stoked to have them. Yeah, just everyone. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey, what last thing? Where are you riding locally? Just at Gopher Dunes, or are you heading some other tracks?
No, just Gopher, just doing our thing at Gopher, keeping our social distancing.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to Derek, and I'm going to bring that YZ 250 two-stroke out there and pop some wheelies and break some fenders.
All right.
Okay, buddy. Thank you very much, and we'll have a great weekend. We'll hopefully see you at a track sometime soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for doing this.